Hello, people. I This is Zico again. Weeks ago, a friend of mine called me saying that there's a server he wants me to get access to and also get a file from that. After getting access, there's a file on that server that he wants me to get and also extract information from that server. So that was 2 weeks ago, and after that call, I was able to get access to the server and also get the file and extract the information from that file. So today in this video, I'll be showing you how that was possible, how I was able to do that. Then I will also tell you by so doing, you'll be able to know the certain vulnerabilities that allowed me to actually get access to it, because the motive of this video is for you to actually know how vulnerabilities like flaws can actually destroy your infrastructure if uh, if your infrastructures are not properly configured, then definitely an intruder can get access just the way I got access into the server. If I move further, I will actually want to define for those who don't actually know what a server really is. A server is like a computer, your normal computer set, but it has more capability than your computer itself. So it's almost the same thing. Like a computer, you have like your file manager, you have what? You have application on your computer. So your computer actually has capabilities to actually to store files, to store files, to run application, to save application and run them. So the same way that capability your system has, your laptop or your desktop has, is the same capability a server is. So a server is actually a computer that can host files under a file manager, that can also host what? That can also host applications such as websites, such as mobile applications, and so on and so forth. So that is how a server is. So a server is like the mega computer itself. So it has more capability. So the difference between a server and your laptop is that the storage and the processor are more larger than the normal laptop which you have. So that is it. So now I'm going to be showing, now that you understand what a server is, now let's see what we're going to do. So for me to be able to get into this, like if you have watched my previous video, I used to use my terminal, hacking terminal, to be able to do what? To be able to actually perform this craft itself. So I'll go there. I call it my black screen for those who understand. So now looking at this particular server, here, this one here, which I'm supposed to break in and get the username and password with the TXT file. Now it's within my network itself. So let's take for example, it is within your network. That is, it's using the same network adapters, like the same network capability or network access itself that that this my system is still the same access is still having. This server is still having. So I need to search for what? To search for this particular machine or this particular server on my network. And that is what I'm going to do. We usually call it enumerations. Enumerations. So, and sometimes we can always call it reconnaissance or footprinting. So to do that, I'm going to do something. I'm going to run through my network. I'll run through my network all through. Now, first of all, I need to know, well, since this machine which I'm using to attack this server is in the same network, so I need to know the IP from the IP of this my attacking machine. Then from there, I will be able to get the range of IPs. Using that IP of this attacking machine, I'll be able to get the range at which, because most times, if we have like 10 devices in a network, they always follow a particular pattern in their IP, because the DCP that actually assign IPs to them always follow what a particular pattern. So it's that pattern I'm going to actually get so that I can run through my network and be able to get the IP, the particular IP of that server we are attacking. So now to find my IP, this is the IP of my attacking machine, the machine I'm using for hacking. So now I know that looking at it, every other devices in this same network, in the network which this using the same Wi-Fi, let me put it that way, using the same Wi-Fi or the same internet, yeah, the same Wi-Fi which this attacking machine is using, we always follow this pattern 10.0.2. Then every other thing, the last one will make it, the last digit will make it unique itself. So let's take for instance, this is 10.0.2 and it's having 15 for this machine. Any other, this particular machine we are actually attacking, the server which we are trying to attack, we also follow the same pattern. So it may be that, I don't know the IP of that, it may be that the IP of that machine will surely be the only difference between the IP of that machine and this machine is that it will be the last figure after the dot. So, but it always carry, because they are in the same network, they are using the same Wi-Fi, they will always follow the pattern 10.0.2, then the last one. Now, since I know the pattern now, it's now time for me to run through my network and find out the IP of this particular server itself, which I'm trying to break. So to find out that, I'm going to run this setting command, net discover, to actually discover the network devices within my Wi-Fi. So this flag -r, it tells us about the range. So what range am I looking at? Since I already know the pattern to be 10.0.2 dot, but I don't know the last digit. So definitely each and every of the device using my Wi-Fi will be having a unique number at the end. So I'm going to run it through with this command /24 to run through every of the device and print it out and tell me these are the device under your network. So let's go. So we are going to wait from here. Let's see. Now it's running a network scan on each of it now. Now looking at it now, we have 4 devices here that is showing. Now you could see that each of these 4 devices has a similar pattern, which is this 10.0.2. 10.0.2. You see it's appearing in this 4 device, but the only thing that makes them different from each other is the last number. That's what I was trying to explain. So definitely it happens the same way when we have several devices using the same Wi-Fi. You will always have set a similar pattern like this, but will be unique at the end. So what is our own goal now? We are trying to check for the IP of this attack, this machine, this server which you are trying to attack. So looking at it, I think it's no more scanning. It's only showing this 4. So I'm going to stop it. Then I believe Looking at this IP here should be machine, the machine here, this server, which we are trying to hack into it. So what I did was that I found out that this is the machine IP itself, the server IP itself. So I'm going to run another set of commands to actually look at command like this. We will actually be knowing if there's an open port on it. So what I'm going to do is to give this set of command this particular the server IP which we found out. I missed out a tag. So with this, we'll now know if there's an open port, an opening on this server which we can actually exploit and get in. So with this command, we'll just run it now and wait for it to run all through. So if there's an opening, then that means definitely we can be able to make use of that opening, exploit it, and actually get into the server. Thereby, remember that our goal is actually to get the username and password so that we can be able to log into this server itself. Because I don't know, when the task was given to me, I don't know the username, neither did I know the password. So we are to get the username and password, and also not to stop there, but to get the file stored in this server called root.txt and extract the information at the end. So that's what we are still doing. So we are waiting for our scan to be able to scan for open ports, open loopholes, whereby we can be able to exploit it and make use, and see if we can get the username and passwords from this. So sometimes it takes a bit of time because it's going to scan through, looking through the um, server IP, all around the server IP to find if there's a loophole. So we have to give it some time. So patience is actually needed when we are doing such testing, such penetration on a server. So it's not always like what you always watch in movies, whereby you watch some hackers trying to do what and trying to hack into a system, and within like split of seconds or milliseconds they are already in. So no, that is the movie words. Although most of them are really, some of them are really possible, but sometimes it actually requires patience to be able to get this thing done, to be able to get a result from it. If not, if you're not patient, you tend to not get result. You get tired of it and just move ahead and say no. I don't think it's going to be positive getting anything from here. So we have to wait. Why is why is doing why the scan is actually scanning the IP. Mm. So wait a bit. Wait a bit. Scan has finished. So we're going to look if we have an open port here. From what we are seeing here, we have an open port here, which we can exploit on this server. And this is port 22. And the service running on it is SSH with a version which you are seeing here too. So not only that, we also have port 80, which is HTTP without the S. You could see it there. Then it has a version of Apache HTTPD 2.4 2.38. So this simply means that it runs on HTTP, and that means we can actually access it on port 80 using the browser. So what we do is that, looking at it, these are the two ports we can use to exploit and get into the system. But for this, for the SSH, we will need the password and username. We still need a password and username for it, which we don't have. So I think we are left with this 80 now. Let's see what we can get from this 80. So I'm going to open my browser, then navigate to the IP, navigate to HTTP. Oh, sorry, it's in capital letter. HTTP dot column / the server IP, and see what it gives us. Let's see, since it says we can access this particular HTTP is open, let's say that simply means we can actually access it. So point 8. So press our enter and wait to see there's something if there's something we can find from it, if we can actually access it. As our scan said, actually now we can be able to access a page. Simply means that the server IP is hosting a website. Like from the onset I said, a server can actually host a several files, applications such as website, mobile applications. So this particular website is hosting a website. This particular server is hosting this particular server here, which is here, is hosting a website, and this is the name of the website. If you notice before, it changed and gave us this particular one, this website. So, and from the website, from the URL here, you can see that it is actually running on WordPress. WordPress is like a content management platform which is used actually to build websites itself. So it's a platform. So the platform used to build the website that is hosted on this server is WordPress. So what we are going to do now is that like I said, we actually don't have the SSH, which is open. We don't have password or username. Folders, you understand? Subfolders, there are directories, subdirectories for each and every website. Now, if you look at the URL which we actually saw here, you could see that this is the URL here, the website domain which is hosted on this particular server which we are trying to break into, and we have slash WordPress. Simply means this is a folder. WordPress, there's a folder called WordPress under this particular website. So this is a directory. This folder, we can also call it folder, we can also call it directory. So for every website they also operate in the same similar way. That is, they have folders and directories. So what we are going to do now is to look for the different, at least we have been able to know that WordPress is a folder or a directory under this particular website, and simply means it also gives us a clue that the website is also hosted using the WordPress CMS, which is content management platform that is used to create this. So we will want to know other directories or other folders, find out other folders which are also under this particular domain. And to that, we'll be doing something we call directory listing or directory listing. So that is what we'll be doing now. So we'll be listing out, we'll be finding out the list of directories under this website. And to do that, let me clear off my screen now so that we can have a first screen. To do that, we'll be using another tool that enables us to do what? To do directly listing. That enables us to do directly listing. So we'll first do, let's make use of this tool that gives us a set of commands. So we are going to be putting the website name. I think, let me get the website name from here. So I'm going to copy it. I'll copy it now and do. So what we'll be doing is to tell this tool to do a listing, to list out the directories. Okay, we have already one here. To list out the directory here. That we'll be telling this tool to list out the directories under this website so that we can see if we can see those directories and folders can contain what? Can contain files that can actually have the a useful information on how to be able to get into the system. Like there may be files such as password files and everything in those folders. So first of all, we will need to do a listing to list out those folders. We will need a tool that will actually help us scan the whole website and list out those folders and also list out the files. And from the folders, we can be able to see the files under, we'll navigate to the folders after getting their paths. Then we'll navigate to the folders and see if we can get any useful file there that can point us to having an information that will help us to break this. So using this, we'll be using a set with this tool. We'll provide this tool with a password list, which we also call, or which we also call a word list. We providing it for the tool. The word list is a set of words which we think can be able, or words which we think that will be useful, or that we think that always comes with most of the websites. So we provided with those word lists, and it scans through those word lists one by one and see in split of seconds it scans through those word lists and is able to give us to help us to find the particular parts, the particular listing of directories for us and list it as for us. So don't worry, you get to know what I'm actually talking about by the time we finish this. So the word list is found under this my machine, under this folder USR, and under USR is found under share to down to this place. Then we have a file that contains the word list, which is a text file called common.txt. So using this one, this set, this tool, I'm telling it that we want it to list out the directories, which is DRR, under this website, giving it the website, and also making use of this word list, which is hyphen W. So I'll run it now and see what it's going to give us. And see what it's going to give us now. So it's telling me there's no such file like this. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. It's not, it's supposed to be common, not comment. So you could see that after correcting it, it highlighted, it highlighted this particular part, meaning that it is correct. you compare this part with this, what you are saying, you see the difference in the colors are quite different. This is pure white, while this it's like it highlighted it and made it bolder. So let's run it now and see what it's going to give us now. And see if it's going to give us a list of directories or list of folder that is being hosted or that comes with that has been created with this website. So let's wait for it while it do its thing. So like I said from the onset, it needs patience to be able to get results. So for any pen tester or any hacker, such a person must be able to do what? Have patience to be able to do what? To be able to get results. Now we can see it has finished now. So it's giving us these pathways, which you are saying, slash this. So what this simply means that we can add this pathway to access this pathway. We can add it, we can copy it and add it to this URL here, this website URL here. Instead of slash WordPress, we can add it as slash wadmin. So it's simply that's what it simply means. So for this, it's the same thing, just like what I just said now. So for us to know if these URLs or these folders are accessible, we can see this from the status. Now, in websites, we have something as status code. So those status code will tell us if it's possible, if those website part or website folder are really accessible after putting this part in the URL on your browser, if it's really accessible. Now, there are different codes. We have 403, we have 403, we have 301, we have 200, we have 405. So we have 500, status 500. So sometimes maybe you are going through your website and you see an error of status 500. Simply means that there's something wrong, it's not accessible. So for 301, each of the status code has their meaning. For 301, it simply means redirection. That means if you access this, it will redirect you to another part itself. So for 200, which is the most popular one, 200 status code 200 simply means that it is really accessible without any direction. So it is really accessible. So in looking at this now, we don't have status code of 200. So we don't have we are we don't have 200 status code now. So I think we will not be able to get without redirection to another page. So we can also try all this one, but let's use another tool to list out this particular to see more, to see if we can get more information, more listing than this particular result which we have. So we're using another tool called deb, and that tool we are going to be using it to access the website itself. No, I've copied it wrongly. So I think I'm going to copy the website from here. Let me copy it for here. Okay. Copy selection and put it here. So we will also do what? Allow it run. We can decide to give it supposed to be deb. So deb. Sorry for that. So we can decide to run it this way or decide to supply it with a user word list the same way we used in this provide it with a word list the same way we gave this particular tool a word list. So let's run it and see what we can get. So if we decide to run it this way without giving it a word list, it will use its inbuilt word list. And you can see it's still even using the common.txt here, the same one we used. So let's see what we can get from this particular scanning. So you can see it is actually trying several ones like this. Let's just hold and see if we can get any information from it. So while this is scanning, let's also, since we know that it's a WordPress website, since we know it's a WordPress, now you can see status code is 301. So it's still scanning itself. Let's give it time to scan. So since we know that this website is a WordPress website, we can also use other tools to be able to actually scan this website itself to see vulnerabilities from the website which is hosted on this server. We can be able to access and exploit the server itself. If the website is vulnerable, that is, if it's weak and accessible for this thing, hackers to enter, then definitely it will give us open doors to the servers, and that we can be able to get the username and log password for the server. So we are going to use a tool again to enumerate this WordPress website. While that is running, let's use this tool. Okay. No. So let's enumerate, run it using URL. So we're going to run it now with the URL. I think I've copied it before. I think I've copied that URL before. Okay. Thank God I've copied it already before. So we enumerate this website itself. Let's enumerate the website itself. So now I'm going to press enter and let it scan. Meanwhile, the other one is still scanning, so we'll just scan both together and see what we can get. So give it time. So scanning, giving us a lot of results now. We can see status code of 301, status code of 405. Let's see if we can see even status code of 200 around here so that we can just go to it. So it's giving us, trying different path for it. Let's go back to that other one which we are scanning. So this just starts its own scan. So it's this tool actually will give us the various loopholes into, you can see it has started already, various vulnerabilities or various flaws in the website itself, in the web application hosted on the server. Like I said, if you can get this website, you can get the things located that is hosted on the server, then definitely you can be able to access or hack the server itself. So let's keep watching. So this is running and the other one is running. Let's see if we have gotten status code of 200 here. This is still running. Let's see. So let's go back. Let's let it run. Let's go back down here. Now this has finished its own. So let's see if we can get information from this. So it has finished its scanning itself. So if we go up, we go up from where it starts. Let's see the information. I think from this heading, yes, from this header it started. From this header you could see the server. That means, and the service which is running on this server. That means it's running on Apache 2.4.3438, which simply means the website which you are scanning that is hosted on that server is being built by with Apache. Apache, that is, we have the service Apache running on this server. Sometimes it's some web application can be built on PHP and other things, and you see a different service here. So, but this we have this here. So let's look. We have this to see if there's so this says that this particular SML RPC is enabled on this website. So simply means that we can actually access it through, if it's enabled, we can also actually access it through this part here. So we just need to copy this URL and paste it on the what? On the browser and see what it really gives us. So, but I don't think that is useful for now. Let's look. So we see WordPress README found. So there's a file that most websites actually carried. Like they used to have this README text. So those README text or README files always have some set of instruction which the developer has already placed. That's why you always put it as README. So once you see it, you know that you have to just see what it is there, and you see the set of instruction here. So if you take it now, we can access it through this URL. If you take this now and put it on our, let me copy it and copy link. Let's go to our browser, open another tab, paste it here, and enter. Let's see what we can see in that README file. Let's see what we can see in that README file. So I'm just trying to tell you the various parts which I used to actually get into that server, how I actually got into that server. So the method which I use, methodology which I use to actually access this server given to me as a task. So this, from this README, we can see different set of instruction, shows different the installation instruction and everything. So if you go down, go down, go down, 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 go down, down. If you go down, you see system requirement. You could see that the system requirement is PHP version 5.6 or higher, and so on and so forth. So I think we can't find any information. While I was trying to access, break into this area, I could not find it. Any information. It's just like telling you about WordPress itself, CMS, and everything. So that is that. So let's go back to that scan result which we had and see more. So we are through with this. Now we now say upload directory has listing enable. Upload directly has listing enabled. So the listing enabled is this. So let's see. This simply means that this upload part is actually what? Is actually open. So let's copy it and go to this. And this is a very bad what? A bad way. This can really expose any web application. If you allow this upload directory listings to be enabled on any website, then definitely people can access it this way we are going to access it now. So I'm going to paste it here on the browser and see what I can find. If I can find any. We can, after going to the URL, you can see what we found here. So I'm going to, it has a folder called 2021. Clicking on it, you should see, let's see what we have. We have another subfolders, subdirectories under it. So let's look at one of it and see if we can see any useful thing there. So these are files which are actually hosted on this particular website, and we are able to access it because the directory upload directory listing was enabled, and this is very very bad. Let's see, let's go down. See files. This is JPG, which is a picture format, and you can see it and say. And we also saw two files here. Two file user.txt. This may be continue containing some users. This is what I found. It's since this is actually users.txt, simply means that the developer actually had a file having a list of users on this website stored in this user.txt. And for this note, I also found that this note itself, let's go back one more step. This note itself has a group of words. I think it's like a word list. So I think this, if we have that user.txt to be users, having list of users, then definitely this note does txt will be like the password itself. So we are going to find out. We will find out through the house. That was what I did. That's what I found out. That's what I thought. And I just took this as the user.txt and the notes.txt as the password. So definitely I've been able to see this particular file due to the upload sorry, the upload directory being made open. So let's now see, since we have this list to be this, let's download it now. So to download two of them into this machine, this is what I'm going to do. Let me open another tab now. This is still running. This is still running. And I think we already have a starter code of 200. So let's leave it to continue run. Okay, let's open another terminal. Let's open it to another terminal. So now I'm going to download that list, the users list to my computer. No. I think I made a mistake here. So I clear this off, change my user, and here we are. So I've actually downloaded that list. Okay, I've downloaded two of them together already because I told you I just want to walk you around to make you see how I actually break into the server itself. So we already have note.txt and user.txt here. User.txt here. Now what we are going to do now is to actually do what? Is to actually brute force. We already have this service here. What is call it? We already, when we were doing our this thing, network scan. Let me bring it back to this. I think I have closed this somewhere, somehow. Okay. When we're doing our network scan, we had SSH to be what? To be active, to be open, and port HTTP, port 80 to be open also. So let's see if we can use this particular files which we have gotten from the server to see if we can brute force into getting the username and password, to see if we can brute force getting the username and what and password. Now I'm going to use this particular, I can use this particular tool to do so. So you can use any one of them. Just want to check something. Okay, I have the username and password attack. Okay. Okay, so let's use this for this one. For this one. Okay. Before this, there was something I actually realized while doing my scan, my directory listing, like finding out that to prove that that user list was actually the users. Even looking at it is just the user. So, but something I also found out. Let me show you. There's something I found out too. So if I have to do the directory listing again using this file, was to directory view. So if I do this now, I looked at this. Formerly, the first time we did was we did the directory listing for this WordPress, this domain name slash WordPress. Now we are going to do, and we found out no 200 status code. So let's see if we can do this on this domain name without the sub domain name added, the sub folder added to it. So we have our W with our word list, USR, share DIB, share word list, word list dot 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 tst. So let's see if we can get a status code here. So now we are running it on directly on the domain itself, not the subdomain or the subfolder itself, which has slash robots.txt. So and and let's access this on our browser on our browser on our browser on our browser. Copy our selection, go down to this place, and here we have, I think let's open another file. Let's open another file. So we have this and put in our this. So we'll remove one box / and see what we can get here. Let's check back where we got our status code 200. I don't know why it's redirecting to that place. Status code 200, I don't know. Let's search for it. Think it's this. Think it's this. Okay. Is it robot.tsc? This. So we'll copy this part and just go down to this place. Then here, so we just have this like this. So from here, just put in this like this. So then I have to go back to this place and just put our http column slash. So from here we just hit it and see what we found out here. So from this part, it's showing us this. It gives us this. So This is a text file under this particular website that shows this. So after we navigated to that text file, it reviews this, saying that added hint on this. So there is telling us that on this there's a picture format here, a picture stored in the website that has the hints to what I'm looking for. So what we are going to do is just copy this, copy this file, put it in the path, put it in the path here, put it in the path and check if we can see the picture. Since it says with JPG. So looking at it, I could not see the picture because of this error. So even though I downloaded, let's see if we can download this picture and then try to open it to see if we can actually access it with a normal picture application on this particular machine. So to download this, I just need to copy the file here and go down to there, this one, go down here. Okay, just go down here and just go go down to here and just put this here. So from here I've downloaded it now. So let me just go list out this, and from here we have the picture here. So I'm going to navigate to this particular what do you call it, just navigate into this particular folder which I downloaded it and try to open it the normal way we used to open a picture. So from here it's opening this way. So from here, if I click on it, I should be able to see the picture now. But unfortunately, I can't be able to open it. So what I did was, since I can't be able to open it, then definitely this file will actually be something. We need to find out if truly this file is a picture file. So what I did was just type this set of commands and give it this particular um, so and check. So this command actually tells us if a file tells us the format of a file. So if truly the dot extension JPG is truly the file format. So looking at this here, we say you saw a ASCII text simply means that it is not a picture but a text format. So what I did was just go down to the folder and change that extension from JPG to TST. So and see if, since it's saying that it's a text format, let's see. So I will rename it and give it TST. So I think I've done it already. So I renamed it to TST. So I got this here. So when I open the TST file, which is a text file, I just open and see what I found out here, saying that the login, what's actually catch my attention is login username is in this user.txt. So that's why I said when we saw that user.txt, it contains several list of users. So definitely what I'm looking for to log in into the server is in this .txt. But according to this file, say I don't know the password, so I should find it out. So I think it is in the hint section of what the site. Okay, no problem. So that was what I did. So like we had this particular, we downloaded this notes.tsc and the US user.txt. So let's see if we can brute force with it and see if we can get the username and the password. We already know that the username is in that user.txt. So this leads us to this place. So I'm going to remove it to that WordPress, then make a capital letter U for the okay, or small letter U, usernames, providing it with sorry, there's a mistake here. Providing it with saying it's the user text file .txt. It's a mistake here, and I'll provide it with the password. Password, password, dot password. Then we give it because the password we suspect is in note txt. So now let's now see. Let's run the command and see if we can get any useful thing. Let's brute force it. This is an act of brute forcing the login itself. So it's telling us there's a mistake here, which is supposed to be dash URL. So from here we can go back. URL from this one. So from here you can have it this way from here. So we are running it from here now. And as we are running it from here, we will be able to see if we can get the username and the password from here now. And it's going. So we just take a little bit of patience to wait and let it brute forth through the website. So it has started from here. Let's keep going. So once it gets to a point, you start seeing it starts trying every word list, every name from those files, which the username and that the password in the notes.txt. So we're trying it every one of them to see if it can review the password from that list. So if the username and the password, we already know that username is in that user.txt. If the password is in that node.txt, it will just stop the process. So now you can see now it is actually brute forcing through. It's brute forcing through to see if this is actually to just find out the password itself. Password, find out the password from here. So you can see it's taking its time. It's an automated process. So once it finds out the right password, it will just stop immediately. So we'll run through all the lists of it to find it out if it's in that word list. So let's just hold on to see if we can actually get the passwords from it. And from here it says there's no password found. There's no password found. So definitely it says there's no password found in this particular using this particular tool. So I could not find anything from here. So what I would do is I'll use another tool to see. What I did was I used another tool to see if I can get the password itself. So I'll take it from here to the USRT dot TST and that of P to be notes dot PHP TST, sorry. So since we are going to be looking at from here, we could not get any passwords for the login this thing. So we will now do what for the WordPress login page. So let's try it on the SSH. Remember I told you that we actually don't know. We actually don't know the username for the SSH itself. So we don't know the username and the password itself. So let's see if we can get the password and username for the WordPress login dashboard. Let's see if we can get it for the SSH. So I'll be telling this to hide right to brute force through SSH. Get me the SSH login to run this list of username and list of password on this SSH on the website and to see if it's match the credential for the SSH for me to log into it. So I think this thing is 8. Yeah, 8. So I'm going to we already put in the username, the user text file, and that of the password which we saw in the website. So from here, let's see if we can get the username and the password from these files by brute forcing the login page. So remember, we are getting the password for the SSH terminal. So if we are able to get the username and password, we'll be able to log into the SSH itself and then log into the server itself. So let's go. So we are actually brute forcing. So it will take time for it to actually go through each and every, it has started already, each and every words in this user text file and match it with the password that is correct with it. So it's going to get the correct username from this text file and match it with the correct password from this text file here in note.txt. So and that will now give us the result which we are going to use to log in to the server itself. Remember, we have the server to be in this form, so it's asking for the username and the credentials, login credentials here. So if we're able to get the credential for the SSH, then definitely we can try it here or even try it on the attacker's screen. Let's go back. So we'll wait a bit to see if it's going to get the matching username and that of passwords for it. So a bit, just wait a bit and see what we can get from here. So instead of actually, this is process, an automated process, whereby the tool tends to do or try every possible word which you have provided in the word list. So all these files which we get from the server itself are known as word lists, which can actually carry the real password and the username, real username for us to be able to use to log in. So we keep waiting to see if it's going to have the matching credentials for us to log into this server. And I think we already have one here showing us login to be L, password to be death for me. So it's still doing its thing. Let's wait till it's finished. Let's wait till it's finished. So we're still waiting to see. Now, sometimes I may not be having access to this server itself during my penetration tasks. Most of the times, some client tends to give uh, a task whereby, okay, it has finished, whereby I'll be able to do an external penetration task, whereby I will not have the resource or the infrastructure close by to me. So, but I am given that task to be able to seek for loopholes and vulnerabilities in such infrastructure, even though it's distance from me. So looking at it, it said one of one target successfully completed, one valid password found. So we have the username and that for me. Now, since we have these ones here, let's now try to log in because we tried to brute the SSH terminal for the server itself and we got this. So let's now, since we got it, let's see if it's going to be correct by trying to log in. So the L is the user, then we have we impute at to log into SSH, we put SSH, then the user at the IP server IP itself. Then it will require us to input password itself to authenticate. So it has asked for password, and the password we got here is that for me. That so I'll type it me and see. Let's see. Now we are logged in into the SSH. So if this is actually if we actually log into the SSH here, let me try. What I did was that I had to try it here on the server itself. I put L and that for me and voila, we are already logged into the server now. So if I have to list out the directory, you will see this user.txt. So if I list it out like this, all files, hidden files, and those visible files, we have this. So if I see this, I've been able to successfully pass the first task, whereby I have to get access to the server itself. So now the second task which was given was to get a file in this server, to find a file called root.txt and extract the information from it. So first task has been done. Let's go ahead and continue. So see, since we have the terminal, it's the same thing we are going to be seeing here. Let me check. You still see user.txt here. So if I cut that user.txt, what do we have from here? So we have this encoded encryption here, which is looking like if it's gibberish. But according to this, what I'm saying here, this is like a brainfucker encoded, what is it call it, encryption. So for us to be able to know what is actually this encryption here, this script here, we will need to decode it. So I'm going to go down to the encryption used to encode that particular information which we are seeing there. It is called brain Fokker decoder. So it's an online. We have an online decoder for it. So that is what I'm going to search on Google, and that is what I did while attempting this task itself. So give it some time, and this is it. This is the decoder here. So I'm going to open it now. Then what we would do, once it opens, we have to copy that encryption that is encoded that looks like if it's not having any meaning. Then we will now impute it here. So let's go back and pick up and copy this right from here down to here. So make sure you copy it rightly, and you copy it. I go back to my browser. Then here where we have this, like I said, this is an online decoder. So where we have this, I'm going to delete what we have there. So I've deleted it, then I paste the one I copied here. So when I paste it, when I paste it, I execute it here. So I pasted it, so I execute it here like this. Then here we'll watch the result of it here. So let's see the result. Let's see what's the information hidden in that encoder. So it says the result says, I think. Okay, let me remove my cursor. It says, I think you got the shell, which I already did. That thing we got, that login to SSH, is a shell. So this encryption is here telling us, I think the developer had to put something there saying, I think you got the shell. So I will check what it says. It said, but you won't get what? Let's check. But you won't be able to key me, Kira. So let's see what we. This is a message which we are able to get from this encryption. Let's go for that. I think it just gave us a mere message. So let's go back and see what we can do. Remember, the next task we are trying to do now is to get that root.tss tst, that text file called root. So I'm going to press here. So this is for this folder itself, this folder for this user itself. So let's see. Let's go to the users, the folder which actually house the users itself, and we can the users in this SSH. So we have the folder that houses the users, that tells us which users are on this SSH. Now we already know one user to be so that folder will just navigate to that folder, and it is what we call home/home/home. So under, if we migrate to this place, we can be able to see the list of users we have based on their folders. So I'm going to list all. Now we know that we have L as a user, which we are logged into. Now we have Kira, another user called Kira. So there's another user called Kira here, and we were able to see that from our encoder here, that says Kira here. So Kira is telling us we have found the shell, but we won't be able to get her. That is, we won't be able to log in as her. So we only logged in as L user. So let's see what is in that folder called Kira. So when we list all, we are able to see there's a TST for Kira here. So let's see if we can be able to see what is in that TSC by cutting it. So it says permission denied. Definitely we are not, simply means we don't have permission to read what Kira user has stored in her own folder. And we can only do that because we are L user. So we can only do that if we have an elevated privilege. So to elevate ourselves to give that privilege to this L, to be able to see what Kira is. So we need to check more and see there's an SS to check more if there's something we can get from here that will help us to do what? Elevate ourselves and have their permission to be able to read what Kira has stored here. So you see another folder called .ssh here. What I did was go to .ssh, and when I list all on .ssh here, there's an authorized key. Authorized key. So this authorized key file is a file which you can use, like we logged in with a password to this user. So if you have this authorized key, there are two ways for you to log into SSH. You can either use your password or the authorized key combined with your user ID. So you either use your user ID with your password or your user ID with your authorized key here. So now this is the authorized key for Kira here. So what we will do now is to actually see what is in this authorized key. Oh, sorry. See what is in this authorized key. Authorized key. Let's go and see what is in the authorized key. Keys. So we have an RSA SSH key here, which we can use to log in as Kira. So what we will do is that since we don't have the password for Kira, we only have the password for L, which was found by brute forcing. So we don't have the password for Kira, but we have this particular file. Like I said, you can use this file, this authorized key to log in or your password if you don't have the password of a user. So, but if you have the authorized key of that user, you can use it to log in as the user. So what we will do is that we are going to copy this authorized key here for Kira because we need a privilege. We need a elevated privilege like Kira to be able to read what Kira's file is to elevate ourselves from L to Kira. So I'll copy it. Then from here I'll cd to else folder. When we cd to else folder, okay, we'll just cd home, just cd, then cd to home where we have the users /l. Then under here we'll list all. So under, we found that key under Kira's SSH folder, and we also have the same thing under else folder. So we'll store the authorized key, create another file. We'll create a file called authorized key and paste these keys inside just the same way. So let's now cd to .ssh for L. Then here, if you look at it, we don't have any authorized key here. Okay, we already have one, which like I said, I've already done it before. So if we cut this authorized key, I already created the authorized key because I want to show you how, the reason for this video is to show you how I broke into this particular server. So I already did that before. So if you cut this, you'll see that the same key here is the same key there. So it's the same key here, the same key there. So what I will do now, we'll try to do what? We'll try to SSH as, since we are in this folder now, we'll try to SSH as what? Kira SSH. Then we'll put Kira as the server IP, which is 8. Now note one thing, the reason why we are doing this, in the first one when we wanted to log in as L, it's after we input this command like this, it asks us for the password. But for this one, it will not ask us for the password. Why? Because the key, the authorized key, is found already in the folder. So what he will do is that if we give it this command, it will search for this authorized key file and it will authenticate, automatically log us in as Kira. Now it has logged as I pressed Kira. So it did not ask us for the password for Kira. because he already found the authorized key in this folder already. Now we already have an elevated privilege as Kira here. So let's list out this. Then we can see the Kira.txt, which we could not be able to see then. So let's see if we can be able to see what is in Kira's test file now. Now we have like this encryption here, which is looking like a base64 encryption. So what I will do is that it gives us a clue. I'm going to decode this encryption here. So I'll copy the encryption like this. I'll copy the encryption, then try to decode it. I'll try to decode it. So I'll be 64 as the. So when I decode it, I found out this information that was encrypted, that was hidden in this encryption. So we have L to be this part. So simply means we have Misa to be in this part. So we are going to, there will be a clue for us here. So what I did was that I had to migrate to this OPT directory by CDing to the OPT directory. OPT directory. So when I CD and list out all the folder, I was able to see this L, capital letter L here, which it already gave me a clue here. So let me see what is in that capital letter L. So I'll CD to change directory to that L. I will list everything, all the files here and the folders there. And here we have two folders, which is fake note hyphen rules and killer case. So there are two folders under this L folder here. So I'm going to CD. What I did was to CD into each one of the folder and check what is there. Maybe I can get a clue to finding that root folder itself. Finding that root text, the root text file. So I CD to this folder, and now I'm here. So I list out all the whole file here, and here we have two files here, a .wav, which is having an extension of a audio file, an extension of an audio file. Audio files sometimes come in MP3 and sometimes comes in .wav. So I'm going to cut this, and we also have hints there. So we'll take them one by one. Take them one by one and see what is in this. So we have this like hexadecimal encryption here. So what I did was this an hexadecimal here. So we have been able to see this. What I did is looking at it, we have an hexadecimal encryption here, and it's giving us another file which is the hint. He called it the hint. So let's check that hint. So what I did was check the hint, and it says I should use CyberChef. CyberChef is an encoder, a decoder, and an encoder tool online, which we can use to either decode and encode any encryption, such as base64 or hexadecimal. So I'm going to go online now on my folder here, go to CyberChef, which it has given us the this thing. It has given us the clue. So most encryption always come in base 64. So what I would do While in rare cases we have some encryption in base 32 and so on and so forth. So what I would do, I'll first try base 64, and that is what I did, and I found out something. Let's look at this. Okay, I think this is not it. This is not what I'm looking for. So I'll go to the first one and see what I got. So it's booting up. So we just need to hold. Now we'll use this particular decoder, this tool, to be able to decode that hexadecimal number which we found out while extracting it from case.wav. So taking time. I'm not sure this is the particular one I got. So let's just hold on. Let's check. So it's still going. I think this is not it. This is like the gate for gate gate program itself. So let me check for it again. Shower check. That's online. So I think this is it already. So I need to copy all this. So it's going to open up for us now. So we just hold on and see. So we use this to actually decode that as a decimal. So I'm going to have it this way. So let's hold. So let's hold while it open up. Then we are able to decode our encryption. So we are holding on till it opens up. I think my internet is that bad. My internet is that bad. So let's just hold for a minute. Okay, we're still holding. I think it's taking much time. It's taking much time. So I will check my internet now and come back. So we take the input which we take the as a decimal figure. After selecting that, then we paste it there in the input and bake. Then let's watch for the output here. So we have a string here, another encryption that looks like base 64 itself. So what we are going to do is that we are going to convert from base 64 now. I'll copy it from here. Is that we use here or we tend to use, just use here. So I'll pick up base from base 64. Then here I copy and paste the encryption. Then bake. And look at what we found here. A password called Kira is evil. So now we now have the password. You know, we only had the authorized key. Now we now have the password for Kira itself. So now let's log in as Kira again with this password. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's log in as Kira. Let's log in as Kira with this password. So we are already in fake. We already find that password. So we are done with this folder called fake notebook rules. We still have one more folder under this as Kira case. So let's look into that first. I'm going to go a step backward, then go into what Kira hyphen case. Now we are in Kira hyphen case the folder. I will list all directories there. Then we have a case file, case-file.txt. Let's see what's in that case file. -file.txt here. Now it says 1 week after the FBI died on December 27, 2006, 1 week after the investigation of the task force member head, aka this family, and according to Watry, he died as other died after killer targeted them. And we also find something in what fake this thing, which I think that is what we found. So let's log in with Kira now. Let's log in with Kira with the password. Or let's have a sudo sudo elevated, and we bring in that password. What's the password? Kira is evil. Let me copy it so that I will not just have. Remember, we're still looking for that root.txt file. That's my last task. So I put it here. I paste that here. Then press enter. Now we are in root folder now. So if I go back, see the back. I've, I've, I've actually moved away from this Kira's folder or the L folder, the OPT folder. Now let me clear. I'm now in root folder. Definitely, I should be able to remember my goal is to find that root.txt. So I should be able to find it here, I think so. So I list all the folder here, and here we have the root.txt there. Now, let me cut the root.txt to extract the information in it. And we are able to extract the information which says congratulations. So this was how I actually gained access into the server itself. So I have this already, and this is how I got it. First of all, we are able to get the password and username which we don't know for the server, and we're able to log in just the same way. We see it this way here, SSH to it, and we're able to log in this way. So the same way, if I decide to elevate my privilege here, Okay, not L now. If I go down to CD homes here, the same way we did, then CD Kira. I'm now in Kira's folder, then I put in uh, Kira SSH Kira at 10.8 dot, let's see if we can log in from here. 2.8. So we are logged in into Kira the same way we did there. So I clear the terminal now. From here, I can be able to elevate Kira's position with the password Kira is evil. And here am I in the root folder. So I will navigate back to the root folder here, list out the directory here. Then we have the root folder, root text file. So cut it here, .txt, and here we have. So that was how I got access to it. So there were a lot of vulnerability, there were a lot of things. We were able to see the directories which were enabled already, and we were able to get files from those directories. So this kind of vulnerability on web applications is not really accepted. So we should always ensure that we give our website to competent hands, competent developers that will enable that each of these directories will not be exposed to people like ethical hacker like me. So if they are exposed, you can see how we can use that to be able to get into the system itself. So thank you very much. And please learn from this that you need someone who, if you're giving your website, you tend to give someone who is competent. So this is how a real hacking actually happens on web application. We exploited the server, exploited we first exploited the web application hosted on the server and used that vulnerable web application to get access to the server. And that is it. Thank you very much. My name still remains Zico, and you'll be seeing more of me in more videos. Thank you.